Hey, soft romantic makeup is everywhere, but why does it sometimes look pretty, but sometimes like you're crying? So the answer is pink eyeshadows. Today I'll show you a simple, wearable Valentine soft romantic pink lifted makeup look with a glowy skin, lifted blush placement, and a gorgeous lip combo. Let's begin with the glowing skin. I'm using Glow Face Primer. For me, this is not a foundation, as many girls tend to think. When used all over the face, it can actually enhance pores and fine lines. And instead of polished, the skin may look sweaty, so I prefer to use it only as a glowing primer or as a final highlighting touch. And only where it's needed, only on the highest points of the face. And look at this, the skin already looks beautiful, more even, fresh and radiant. And I love that the glow is soft. Next, I'm using moisturizing concealer in a slightly more orange shade to neutralize the blue tones around my eyes. And blend it with a fluffy brush or even with your fingertip. Just gently swipe from side to side and that's it. It's very easy to blend. This concealer is perfect for dry skin or if you want to avoid emphasizing fine lines here. It's so lightweight. Look at the close-up. The skin texture still looks natural and smooth. Next step, glowing face tint. See those luminous particles on the packaging? So first things first, shake it well. Foundation should always be shaken before applying so the formula becomes perfectly even. The glow in this tint is incredibly beautiful. You'll see it in a second. And I am using a slightly darker shade, which actually matches the rest of my body perfectly, while my face is a bit lighter. Yes, I know, and that's completely fine. You can also adjust by mixing shades or lightly highlighting the T-zone and under the cheekbones with a lighter concealer. Don't worry and don't be afraid, we are working with a very lightweight textures here, almost like a water. See how it melts into the skin. So easy to blend and the glow is just stunning. This tint is perfect for dry, dehydrated or more mature skin, especially if you love that nothing on the skin effect. And actually, I love this feeling with a natural radiant finish. Just look at that glow. I'm so happy I finally found this in our stores because every time I share something, it sells out. And thank you for trusting me, but please save one for me too. Next, concealer. I have visible pores in the T-zone and this area absorbs foundation faster than the rest of my face. That's why here I'm using something a bit more matte with a slightly more coverage and just a touch of a creamier texture, not watery like a face tint. So only for this reason I used this one from Hourglass. And also notice the reverse contouring. We can skip creamy contour, again, one more layer of the makeup on the face. So today we are working with a light over depth and it looks beautiful. I love that in beauty we have so many options, so many techniques to choose from. I'm broadening the classic Hollywood triangles, the place under the eyes, and the forehead, chin, and slightly under the cheekbone. This makes the face look sharper, fresher, and more lifted. At the end, I gently tap over the edges of the concealer to soften the transition between the face tint, which is almost invisible on the skin, and the concealer. So this melts everything seamlessly and creates a natural illusion of light and depth like soft contouring. Now look at the close-up of the skin. Just look at that glow. It's insanely beautiful. And if we had applied a regular full coverage foundation, the glow from the first step would most likely disappear because heavier textures tend to cover that luminosity and the glowing base would lose its purpose. Next, baked powder in a slightly deeper shade. This product is magic and you barely see it on the brush, but look at the cheekbone. Beautiful, and it usually comes in two shades and I am using the light one. If you have a medium to deep skin tone, go for the deeper shade. So, you already know I love multifunctional products and look at that pen. I've almost finished it and I applied this softly along the jawline, cheekbones, forehead, hairline, and temples. I love this product and I almost use it every day. Not to add heaviness, just to set the skin, blur texture, and prevent the base from becoming sticky or creasing. Because it's a baked powder, the radiant particles reflect light in a very soft way, smoothing the skin visually and even in areas where pores are visible. Now, pink blush. We want a soft romantic flush, not a sunburn effect on the cheeks. And if you are afraid of blush because it looks too pigmented or very intense, try this little hack. First, pick up your blush on the brush and then lightly touch the brush into a bit of a powder or even a finely milled highlighter. And only then apply it to the face. This softens the pigment instantly. The first contact with the skin becomes powder, and only then the blush diffuses softly. The next important thing, control how much product you apply, how often you sweep, and how much pressure you use. We want to stop at the right moment, right? I also bring a little blush to the forehead and across the nose. This is my favorite part for lifting fresh effect, so we are literally lifting the face. Next, baby pink highlighter with a soft silvery sheen. It looks satin, not glittery, not chunky sparkle, just a smooth mirror-like reflection. I apply it to the high points of the cheekbones, slightly toward the brow tail, always in a soft V shape, never straight line toward the hairline, because that can look unnatural. You have to see the shape of the face. I love this palette so much, it's beautiful, and I'm using the same shade on the mobile lids. This frosty pink tone looks fresh, bright, and works beautifully with the blue, gray, and green eyes, and especially beautiful with the brown eyes. Thanks to color harmony. It blends effortlessly with the fingertips, smoothing the lids and softly filling texture and fine lines. Next, take a small pencil brush and pick up a white eyeshadow. Or a brightening powder works too. So apply it to the inner corners to open up the eyes and make them look bigger and fresher. Because I have hooded lids, I place it slightly higher, defining the edge between the sides of the nose and the lid. This contrast creates the illusion of larger, more lifted eyes, and you'll notice it even more from a distance. I also apply a touch under the brow tail to enhance that lifting effect. And if you noticed, we are working from light to dark. And I started with a light shade in the inner corners, and now I'm using a mid-tone brown just along the lower lash line with the same brush. Only in this order you can get clean, precise work, no muddy shades, no uneven blending, no patchiness. Next, I'm adding an even deeper shade to build depth in the outer corners. I'm using a dark gray. For my low contrast coloring, gray looks more natural than black. Black can feel too harsh, since naturally the only very dark tone in my eyes is the pupil. I apply it in small pressing motions, almost like dots, and right into the outer corners. That's it. First, we need a transition shade between the darkest color and the pink. And take a blending brush and pick up a beige tone close to the skin color. Sweep it gently from side to side along the crease. This slightly dries the area and prepares the surface so the next mid-tone blends smoothly, no patchiness, no harsh edges here. And only after that go in with a slightly deeper shade in the same area to create soft dimension and seamless blending. Again, swipe from side to side, nothing special. And look how soft and smooth this look. I love it. Next, lip contour. I'm using an eyebrow pencil for this. You know, it's one of my favorite beauty tricks. The goal is to repeat tones across the face so the whole look feels harmonious and connected. This gray toned pencil is perfect. Soft application, natural contouring effect, and beautiful shape definition. And look at this line. I love it. And then I sharpen the pencil and move to the brows. Brush them upward at about a 45-degree angle and start with the tail. Yes, this is soft romantic makeup, but for lifted result, brows are in a charge. And we extended the tail slightly higher and a bit toward the temple, never downward. If you press too hard and the line looks dark, just brush through it to soften and melt the pigment. Very easy. Apply, brush, apply, and again brush. Gentle layering. Black mascara. Lashes will be the star of the look, and we need to balance the pink eye makeup and bring structure back to the eyes. Black separates the pink from the eye, so it looks intentional and elegant, not like irritation, but like art. And I blink into the wand several times to coat every lash from root to tip. And the lashes are long enough to create that soft, almost naive romantic look, and yet dark enough to add a touch of drama. If you make a small mistake, just clean it with a brow brush once the mascara is slightly dry. It works best when the base underneath has enough eyeshadow, not too sheer, but not too matte, so the brush can gently lift the mark without smudging. And now the final touch, lips. I chose a long-lasting lipstick. The color is beautiful, one of my favorite, and the coverage is amazing. And the texture has a soft glowing finish, not too much, never vulgar. And the eyes are already the main focus, so the lips should only complement the look. Don't apply it in a thick layer, like we often do daily, just one thin layer and gently blend it with your fingertip. And honestly, this is one of the most beautiful lip combos. Soft gray lip liner, pair it with a cool toned pink, I guess even dusty pink lipstick. In the center of the lips. Beautiful combo, subtle, balanced and effortless. What do you think? Do you prefer soft romantic makeup for Valentine's or something more glam and dramatic? Tell me in the comments, I'm really curious to know. And thank you for spending this time with me. Maybe you will try today something soft, lifted and a little bit romantic for this Valentine's Day. And see you in the next video. And by the way, I actually don't like pink. It's probably my least favorite color ever. The only time I wear a pink t-shirt is when I didn't plan to go somewhere, when there is a dress code maybe, or when I simply can't find anything else in my closet that matches. So, yes. What about you? Do you love pink or avoid it too? So, thank you so much for watching and see you soon. Bye!